Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a dining review for you all, and today's dining review is going to be on the Hoop-Dee-Doo Review, which is actually a dinner show that they have at the Wilderness Lodge in Magic Kingdom, or like Magic Kingdom Resort area. The way that I do my dining reviews is that I have 4 different categories. I rate them on a scale of 1 to 5 on food, service, atmosphere, and my overall. Each, like I said, on a scale of 5, so they have the ability to get an overall out of 20 points, if that makes sense. So this way that when I am talking about the review, if you love food but you really don't care that much about experience, you can kind of balance on what my opinions are, and try and kind of relate and see what you ultimately think you should be doing for this dining experience. That was probably the worst way to explain it, but you'll kind of get it as I go along. For food, it is an all-you-can-eat family style food. So what they do is they bring out the food to your table, and if you want more food, you can have more food. All you have to do is ask your server and they will gladly bring out food for you. The food that you get a salad to start, and you get cornbread, which was so good. I don't normally like cornbread, but I actually really liked this cornbread. You also get, sorry, I'm like reading my little notes here. So you also get, you get ribs, fried chicken, mashed potatoes, corn, and then for dessert you get a strawberry shortcake. You also can get, because obviously there's kids options there too, you can actually also get mac and cheese, but you have to ask for it. The couple that, or the family that was beside us, we noticed that they had mac and cheese, and I had said to Austin, I was like, oh, you get mac and cheese too. And then the one lady was like, oh, you actually have to ask for it. And we're like, oh, okay. So we kept kind of eating. We're like, we'll see. But then by the time that we had started eating, we were like, we cannot order mac and cheese. Like, this is way too much food. Like, we're not gonna be able to finish everything. And then our server brought, or not our server, but their server brought out mac and cheese to our table, and they're like, they said that you wanted to try it. So that was like so sweet. And like the mac and cheese was really good. But again, so much food. But if you want the mac and cheese, ask for it, because it's all in the cost of everything, so you don't have to pay extra or anything. It just, like, you just have to ask for it. Overall, the food was so good. Like I said, it's like, it's fried chicken and ribs and mashed potatoes and corn, so it's like, it's very filling and very like a homey meal. I feel like this is like cricket. Sorry, I thought it was cricket. So like I said, the food is very filling, is very homey, and it's definitely not something that you could eat a lot of. This was actually our very first night there, so this was our travel day. We figured like this would be a great opportunity to eat here because we knew it was going to be a lot of food, and it was a lot of food. It was very good though. I highly recommend it. I would give it a 4, and the only reason I would give it a 4 is that, and like not a 5, is that like that's just not my favorite kind of food to eat. Like, I don't love eating fried chicken or ribs or anything. Like, it's good, but that's just like not my top pick. But yeah, like it was so good. Like, out of fried chicken, it was the best fried chicken I've ever had. So there's that. For service, like super awesome. Like Austin mentioned this, like the way that our server acted, like totally went with the whole theme of like Hoop-Dee-Doo. It's like very, like, it's like a dinner show, and they're all like very southern, and like, I don't know, they have like hospitality, but at the same time they're kind of like they're kind of just like, not rude, like I don't want to say rude, but they're just like very blunt about everything. So we kind of like, they'd smack the dishes down on the table, and like they bring out like your chicken in like a big bucket, like a steel, not actual steel, but like it looked like a steel bucket, and they drop it down on your table, and like it was just the whole, like, they were just awesome. Our waiter like literally every 5 seconds was coming over, and like he's like, do you want another sangria? Do you want another sangria? I'm like, no, if I have another sangria I'm gonna die. So like, they were awesome for refills. But yeah, for service, they were quick, they were helpful. Also, I'm gonna tie into service for here too. Like, the way to get to Hoop-Dee-Doo, you actually have to take a couple buses. So you have to take so the way that we got there, so we were at Disney Springs. We took a bus from Disney Springs to Wilderness Lodge. then we had to get off a bus at Wilderness Lodge, and then we have to get on another bus to go back to Hoop-Dee-Doo. Like the like site is so big. So like we didn't really know that at the time. Like we just got off the bus and then we were like, wait, like where the heck do we go? So we asked our bus driver, the first bus driver, and they said, you'll get on this bus. And then when we got on that bus, we said, we're going to Hoop-Dee-Doo Review. And they said, okay, yeah, sure. So they like told us kind of how, like they told us when we had to get off at and whatever. So like that was just, they were just super friendly. I'm sure they deal with so many people that obviously don't stay at that resort and go to that dining experience. So they're very helpful and they like are totally willing to help and point you in the right direction. But I just thought that was awesome. So I gave the service a 5 there. Like everybody there was so nice and kind, and yeah, like it just, they went above and beyond my expectations. For the atmosphere, I love the atmosphere. It's so, I don't know, it's just like so, it's like wildernessy, and everybody's in like their button-up flannel shirts, and it's just like a good time. Like when you're like, when you get to Fort Wilderness, you don't even feel like you are in Disney. Like it's weird. Like you obviously feel like you're in Disney, but it's just not the same. It's very cool. Like the way that they do their theming is incredible. And speaking of Fort Wilderness, I have an exciting announcement to say at the end of this video. So for atmosphere, I gave it a 5. I really enjoyed the atmosphere of Fort Wilderness. Overall, I gave it a 5. I loved it. That was probably one of our favorite places that we ate. I don't think I'd do it every time we'd go, just because it is expensive if you're not on the dining plan. If you are on the dining plan, it's 2 credits, but then if you're not on the dining plan, I'll put it here how much it is normally if you're not on the dining plan. But yeah, like I loved it. I wouldn't do it every time because I wouldn't want the show to get old. You know what I mean? It's the same show every time. And I'm sure people do it all the time anyways, but it's the same show every time, so I wouldn't want it, I wouldn't want to like lose the magic, if that makes sense. That would never happen, but you know what I mean. For Hoop-Dee-Doo, it's a different kind of experience, so I kind of wanted to give tips and thoughts. When you book it online or in person, or like not in person, sorry, over the phone, they will tell you to give yourself about an hour and a half to get there. Use that time, and like use that time to a T. It easily took us about an hour and 20 minutes to get from Disney Springs to Fort Wilderness, and that's getting a direct bus from Disney Springs to Fort Wilderness, and then Fort Wilderness, like the front of Fort Wilderness to the back of Fort Wilderness to get to actually Hoop-Dee-Doo. We actually didn't realize how long it would take, but it's solely because of that double bus. And if you're having to go from your hotel to Fort Wilderness, you have to take from your hotel to some other park or Disney Springs and then get to Fort Wilderness. So really use your time. Like don't take that lightly. Like really use the hour and a half that people are saying. And don't be afraid to ask questions. Like we asked a couple people on the bus before we even got to talk to the bus driver, like how the heck did we get to Hoop-Dee-Doo? So we talked to people on the bus, we talked to our bus driver, we talked to the people at the front desk. Like we just, don't be afraid to ask questions because everybody is super helpful there. Another thing I wanted to mention was don't worry about being shy. When I was looking up this reservation, a lot of people were saying how, oh, you know, you shouldn't be shy if you're going here because it's a really out there show. Like they come into the audience and they really like, they make you be a part of the show. And I just thought, like Austin's shy and I'm like somewhat shy in person, but like like that doesn't make it, like that doesn't make or break the fact that you are going to the show. Like I don't know, like I wouldn't take that, like I would take that with a grain of salt when people say don't be shy, because really you don't have to worry about that. Like I said, Austin and I are very shy people. Austin's more shy than I am, but like we got up and danced in front of people like by ourselves. We slow danced in front of people when they were like talking about anniversaries and celebrations for like our honeymoon. So it's like, it's just a different experience. And like, yeah, I would totally take that with a grain of salt, because that was really one reason I wasn't gonna book Hoop-Dee-Doo, and I'm so glad that we did, because that was one of our favorite experiences while we were there. And then also I would say try for category 1 seating. It is a little bit more expensive to try for category 1, but I booked right at 180 days for category 1 seating, and we were literally the front row first table. So it was like, it was awesome. Highly recommend trying for category 1 seating. And would I eat here again? Of course I would. So total, I would give it a 19 out of 20. Like, this just went above and beyond. Like I said, it was one of our favorite meals our entire time there. So yeah. Now for my announcement. Austin and I are actually going to be going back to Walt Disney World already in April. So we booked a very last minute trip. We literally booked it like a couple weeks ago. Not even a couple weeks. We booked it last week. We booked it last week from when you're watching us. I don't know when this is going to be going up, but we will be going in April. And we will be staying at the Fort Wilderness campgrounds. So I have never camped at Disney. I am so excited to camp at Disney. If you have any tips, please let me know. Like I said, we'll be there in April, so I'm sure it'll rain a ton, but you know, it is what it is. But yeah, so there will be vlogs coming from that trip, and we're actually going to physically vlog rather than the last set of vlogs that I've published or posted, where we kind of were just like showing and we have music in the background. Like, we're actually going to vlog this time. But yeah, I'm so excited, and if you are interested in watching those vlogs when they do come, obviously it will be a little while away, but if you're interested for when they do come, please make sure to subscribe and like this video, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!